The existence of Iran's ancient Hyrcanian rainforest is deeply rooted in a rare and extraordinary geographical configuration that has allowed a prehistoric ecosystem to survive for millions of years. Stretching along the southern shores of the Caspian Sea and pressed against the northern slopes of the Alborz Mountains, this unique landscape creates a natural sanctuary that protects the forest from both extreme heat and extreme cold. The Caspian Sea acts as a massive moisture reservoir, continuously releasing humidity into the atmosphere. This constant evaporation produces thick clouds that drift toward the Alborz Mountains, where they collide with cooler air and release rainfall in high volumes. As a result, a lush, temperate rainforest thrives in a region otherwise dominated by semi-arid to arid climates. The mountains also form an insulating barrier, preventing the hot, dry winds of central Iran from reaching the forest while simultaneously trapping moisture coming from the sea. This combination of geographical forces generates a stable, wet, and mild microclimate that resembles the environment of Europe's ancient woodlands during the Pliocene and Pleistocene eras, several million years ago. When the Ice Age wiped out forests across northern Europe and much of Asia, the Hyrcanian rainforest survived due to this protective geography. The mountains shielded it from glacial expansion. In the Caspian Sea, moderated temperatures enough to prevent widespread ecological collapse. Thus, a portion of Earth's ancient forest belt endured unchanged, while similar forests disappeared elsewhere. Today's Hyrcanian ecosystem contains more than 3,000 plant species, many endemic, including Persian ironwood, Caucasian wingnut, and massive boxwood stands. The region also hosts rare fauna, such as the Persian leopard, lynx, wildcat, marbled polecat, and forest dormouse. This biodiversity remains intact because the geographical isolation reduces outside ecological pressures, minimizing species invasion and preserving evolutionary continuity. Soil formation also contributes significantly to the forest's survival. Continuous rainfall, combined with organic decomposition from dense vegetation, produces deep, nutrient-rich soils ideal for supporting massive tree growth. These soils retain moisture and regulate temperature, forming a self-sustaining ecological loop. The mountain's steep slopes create varied altitudes and microenvironments, allowing a wide range of species to coexist, from lowland broadleaf forests near the sea to mistrouted cool climate oak and hornbeam stands at higher elevations. The forest's geographic placement also influences atmospheric circulation patterns. Warm, moist air currents from the sea rise up the mountain slopes, cool rapidly, and condense into fog, mist, and precipitation. This process, known as orographic rainfall, ensures year-round water availability, even during seasonal dry periods. As a result, the Hyrcanian rainforest experiences some of the highest rainfall levels in Iran, with certain zones receiving over 2,000 millimeters per year. Another geographical factor is the Caspian Sea's unique enclosed basin nature, which prevents salinity extremes and maintains relatively stable surface temperatures. This steadiness contributes to consistent humidity levels along the coastline, further reinforcing the rainforest environment. The sea's moderating effect keeps winters mild and summers cool compared to the surrounding regions over millions of years. This rare geographical combination of sea, mountains, and insulation from desert winds preserved a pocket of ancient vegetation that predates many modern species. The forest stands today as a living relic of prehistoric Eurasia, 25 to 50 million year old. Its ecosystem made possible solely because of the extraordinary natural architecture of northern Iran. The Hyrcanian rainforest owes its existence to a rare climatic history that protected it during the most dramatic environmental shifts on Earth. This forest, dating back more than 25 to 50 million years, predates the Ice Ages and originates from the once widespread Arctic-Tertiary forests that stretched across Europe, Western Asia, and parts of North America. When colossal ice sheets expanded across northern latitudes during the Pleistocene, most of these forests perished. However, the Hyrcanian region escaped these destructive climatic extremes through a combination of oceanic moderation, mountain shielding, and stable local weather cycles. This allowed the forest to remain a refuge for countless species that vanished elsewhere. Throughout prehistoric climate fluctuations, the Caspian Sea consistently acted as a buffer against extreme temperatures, even during global cooling events. The sea's large thermal mass prevented rapid drops in temperature, maintaining a humid, temperate climate along the coast. The Hyrcanian rainforests never experienced the deep freeze that devastated much of Eurasia. Winters remained mild enough to sustain sensitive plant species, while summers remained cool due to moisture-laden winds. This climatic moderation ensured uninterrupted biological activity, allowing ancient trees to continue evolving across millions of years. The rainfall patterns of the region also contributed to the forest's endurance. The Caspian Sea's high evaporation rate created persistent humidity, which the Alborz Mountains converted into rainfall through orographic processes. This guaranteed a continuous water cycle that survived long-term climate trends, even when global precipitation patterns shifted. The local water cycle remained stable, ensuring that the forest never faced prolonged drought. As a result, the Hyrcanian rainforest developed one of the richest temperate ecosystems in Western Asia, flourishing during periods when nearby regions transformed into arid landscapes. Another critical factor in the forest's long-term climatic survival is its ability to create a self-regulating microclimate. Dense vegetation traps humidity, reduces temperature fluctuations, and enhances soil moisture retention. Over millions of years, the forest essentially reinforced its own climatic stability. Thick canopy layers filtered sunlight, preventing overheating, while leaf litter and organic matter created insulating soil beds that preserved water during dry spells. These natural mechanisms allowed the forest to remain resilient even during global climate events. Evolutionary resilience has also played a major role. Many Hyrcanian species adapted to shifts in humidity and temperature through slow genetic modification, making them remarkably tolerant of climatic variation. Ancient species such as the Persian ironwood tree survived because they evolved flexible responses to moisture and temperature changes. Endemic plants like Hyrcanian boxtree and Gladicia caspica possess traits that allow long-term adaptation, including deep root systems and seasonal leaf cycles. These adaptations protected the forest from extinction during past climatic instability. As climate warmed, following the last glacial period, many regions of the world underwent ecological transformation. However, the Hyrcanian forest maintained its prehistoric identity, because temperature and rainfall patterns changed gradually rather than abruptly. The Caspian Sea continued stabilizing local weather, preventing heat extremes that could have damaged the delicate ecosystem. This slow-paced climatic evolution gave the forest enough time to adjust, preserving its ancient character. The forest's survival through millions of years of climate change makes it an irreplaceable living archive of Earth's ecological history. Its trees, soils, and plant communities retain genetic and environmental signatures that trace back to the Tertiary period. The Hyrcanian rainforest stands today not simply because of present climate conditions, but due to an extraordinary chain of climate events that protected it across geological time. It remains a testament to the power of stable, moderated climate systems in safeguarding ancient life. The Hyrcanian rainforest exists today due to an extraordinary set of ecological and evolutionary factors that protected its species, maintained biodiversity, and prevented the collapse of its natural systems over millions of years. This forest represents one of the few surviving remnants of the ancient Arc to Tertiary biomes and contains species that lived alongside prehistoric animals long before human civilization emerged. The preservation of this ecosystem results from stable species interactions, evolutionary adaptability, ecological resilience, and natural isolation that minimized external disturbances. The forest's ecological stability is largely attributed to its high biodiversity, which creates a robust network of species interdependence. With more than 3,000 plant species and hundreds of animal species, the forest functions as a complex web where each organism supports the ecosystem in subtle but essential ways. The presence of multiple tree species such as alder, hornbeam, beech, ironwood, elm, and oak, prevents ecological collapse if one species declines. This diversity ensures continuous nutrient cycling, soil regeneration, and moisture retention. Mixed species forests also resist pests and diseases more effectively than monocultures, allowing them to survive environmental pressures that would devastate less diverse ecosystems. Evolutionary. Adaptation further strengthens the forest's resilience. Ancient species evolved unique traits that allowed them to withstand shifts in humidity, precipitation, and seasonal temperatures. Persian ironwood trees developed dense, fire-resistant bark and extremely hard wood, enabling them to survive storms and natural disturbances. Hyrcanian boxwood evolved shade tolerance, allowing it to thrive beneath dense canopy layers. Many animal species develop specialized diets and behaviors suited to the forest structure, including the Persian leopard's adaptation to dense understory environments and the forest dormouse's reliance on tree cavities for nesting. These long-term evolutionary developments maintained population balance and prevented ecological decline. Isolation played a crucial role in safeguarding the forest. The Alborz Mountains act as massive natural walls, limiting human access for thousands of years and preventing invasive species from disrupting local ecosystems. This geographic isolation allowed endemic species to evolve without competition from foreign plants or animals. It also protected the forest from agricultural conversion, pastoralism, and wood extraction during early human history, preserving its old-growth character. The forest also benefits from strong regenerative capacity. High humidity levels and fertile soils promote rapid vegetation recovery after natural disturbances such as storms or landslides. Fallen trees decompose quickly due to moisture and microbial activity, turning nutrients to the soil and supporting new growth. This continuous cycle of decay and regeneration reinforces ecosystem stability. The forest floor's thick layer of leaf litter retains water, reduces erosion, and creates a seedbed for new plants. Ensuring that vegetation rebounds easily after damage, ecological balance extends to its fauna. Predators, such as the Persian leopard, control herbivore populations, preventing overgrazing that could harm vegetation. Birds and insects contribute to pollination and seed dispersal, allowing plants to maintain genetic diversity across large areas. Earthworms, fungi, and microbial communities break down organic matter, supporting nutrient cycles essential for long-term forest health. This intricate interplay between species sustains the forest's structure, composition, and vitality. Long-term natural selection ensured that only the most adaptable and resilient organisms survived. Over millions of years, species unable to withstand environmental changes died out, while strong, adaptable species flourished. This evolutionary filtering produced a highly stable ecosystem capable of enduring fluctuations in climate, moisture, and temperature. Many species in the Hyrcanian rainforest share ancestry with extinct European species, making the forest a living evolutionary museum. Human impact remained minimal for most of history due to geographic barriers, harsh terrain, and dense vegetation. This limited human interference allowed old-growth trees to mature undisturbed for centuries, establishing multi-layered forests with complex ecological structures. These structures proved more capable of resisting storms, landslides, and ecological pressure, helping the forest endure through millennia. The result is an extraordinary ecological system that has survived natural disasters, climatic shifts, and environmental changes that destroyed countless other ancient forests worldwide.